we're just so blessed. Oh, Chloe, hi. Do you know what? I feel like we've had just a few calls now and it hasn't been a lot, but I just feel like the bond that we're growing as a group is just so special already. And you're going to hear from some incredible women. Like, I am so excited. We have just absolute powerhouses in the club already. So I can't wait. A lot of these calls are just really going to be us sharing not just success tips, because yes, success is great, but really just getting to know each other. We're creating such a global sisterhood here, and we're going to make such a difference together, but also make a difference in each other's lives, and just learn together, grow together, travel together. I can't wait to travel together. But yeah, we have some really special women in the community. You're all just incredible. So I'm getting around and I'm getting to know some of you personally, and then I'm just wanting you guys to get to know each other, because this very, very, very quickly, I'm hoping, is going to be run by you guys, and I'm just going to be there supporting, making you flyers, cheering you on. So yeah, this is something that I really think a lot of you women, like, you guys are the leaders, and you guys are the ones that are going to carry this thing through. So I'm here to support you. I'm here to just cheer you on in it, but this really ultimately is going to be about you. So without further ado, one thing I did want to speak about, and I've spoken about it to a few of you. Terry, we love you, Terry. I don't know if any of you have read this. Oh, you can't see it because on the screen. Okay, it's Sacred Success by, who's it by? Barbara Stanny. I don't know. Has anyone read this book? Type in the chat if any of you have read it. It's really a beautiful, beautiful book. And I've been getting through it, and I thought, you know what? Maybe the women in the club might want to do like a book club with me. It's just really beautiful. It's called A Course in Financial Miracles, but it's not really about finance so much as it is about just owning your power as a woman. Because the whole point is that when you own your power as a woman, it's like everything else comes anyway. And I just think it's a really beautiful, beautiful book, especially anyone that's like gone through some stuff, maybe felt like you've had some power taken from you. Sacred Success. It's a really good. So yeah, are any of you up for doing a book club with me? Let me know. Let me know in the chats if you'd be up for that, and maybe just let me know on Telegram. Yes, there we go. Because I think it'd be really great just to kind of get through that together and learn that together, and it would just be fun to do that together anyway. Yay! Great. We're gonna have a women book club. Love it. Okay, so any of you that want to go get that book, okay, Scotty, you can be in our book club. Any of you that want to get Sacred Success, it's called Sacred Success, and it's by Barbara Stanny. And it just, yeah, it's a course in financial miracles and just getting your power back. So we'll go through that together. We'll start doing like a chapter a week. So if you want to get that this week, start looking at it, and then next week we'll just gather our notes. Okay, let me move my chair. It keeps going this wall. So my first guest that I'd like to introduce you to, ladies, I'm so excited. I can't believe you've even got her in the club. She's quite phenomenal, and she's a very well-known author and inspirational speaker. I mean, people pay her to come and give her words of knowledge and gold, and she's doing this for free because she's part of the club community now. And people have tried for years and years to literally get her into a company, get her into being distributing something, and she just for years and years just has it. She's a very, very successful realtor. I think she's been a realtor for like 40 years. Just so much knowledge. She's just a real firecracker. But we actually have her in the club. She was just like, she really just felt like this was really the right time and this was for her. So we are so blessed. I mean, I'm just mesmerized by her. I was on a call with her just a while ago, and then I went onto her website and I was just like, wow, I can't believe we have this woman in the club, and that she's agreed to share her story with us and just be really vulnerable and real about, you know, the journey to success. She really is the picture of a woman that is successful and that has her power and her integrity and is just doing some wonderful things, and she just wants to give it back now. She wants to help other women, and she's really looking forward to traveling the world and creating some amazing memories. So without further ado, put your hands together, your virtual hands together for the wonderful Miss Sue Thompson. Sue, are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
Yay! Yay! Wow, what an introduction. That was pretty cool. Thank you. That
Okay,
was awesome.
well, I don't even think I could do you justice. But Sue, thank you
Um,
so much for agreeing to be here. I know that you're used to speaking, so I'm just going to hand this over to you. If you wouldn't mind just sharing your story with the ladies and just giving us some of your words of wisdom, what you've learned along the years, and yeah, and just let us know what you're looking forward to in the club as well.
well, I can do that. I actually cheated and made notes because it's so much that I can't do it in this short time. But I basically was born a feisty redhead. A lot of determination and perseverance I've learned over my many years in this life. But you know, I've jumped a lot of hurdles like we all have. There's no one that's going to get through life and not jump hurdles. It just depends on how big, small they are and how we deal with them, I guess. So I've had my share. I lost a cousin to murder. I was in an abusive marriage, but I ended up with two fabulous boys. So that was okay. I got through that. But in 1999, as Jen said, I've been in real estate about 48 years in the industry. But in 97, I moved from Dallas, Texas, being an agent to Conroe, Texas, to be team leader for Keller Williams. In 1999, my life was going great. I loved my work. I was working hard, playing hard. Life was great. So I thought until August 31st, 1999. I had been in pain up in my shoulder and back for probably a couple of months. So I did learn I had a very high tolerance for pain. That's not really a good thing. But literally on a pain level of 1 to 10, I was about a 60. So I thought I better go to a doctor and see if I have a broken shoulder or something. So I go in. He looks at me and he says, Miss Thompson, you have multiple myeloma. What is that? I said, that's a big word for a broken shoulder. He said, no, ma'am, that's bone marrow cancer. I'm like, oh dear. Literally within a split of a second, this huge glass bubble surrounded me. And over my shoulder, God spoke to me in words, just like I'm speaking now. And he was kind of humorous. And he said, well, Sue, what are we going to do? Sink or swim? Well, immediately I'm like, we're swimming. We're not sinking, we're swimming. I had wanted to be a grandmother. That was number one on my bucket list. And that was before the bucket list movie came out, but I'd wanted to be a grandmother. And I looked at the doctor and I said, let me tell you something. I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to die and I'm not going down from it. I'm not a grandmother yet. So what are we going to do next? He immediately takes me upstairs to the oncologist, which I fired in about 10 minutes because he kept saying, it's incurable. It's incurable. I said, no, it's not. I will be cured. No, you won't. Finally, I said, you're fired. I'm done. So then my journey began looking for doctors that were positive, and that was a challenge, but I finally found one. At any rate, there were two women in this little town of Conroe where I lived that had been RNs for 28 years and in the natural field at this time for 16. So they knew both sides of the worlds. I went to them. They immediately got me on herbs, vitamins, stuff I had never taken because I never had to, but probably should have at this point, but I hadn't. But at any rate, I got on a lot of herbs, a lot of vitamins, a lot of manifesting, a lot of positive feedbacks. I learned that if any word, thought that was negative came into my head, I immediately would go cancel, 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 delete. And it would just dissipate, which was awesome. And I changed my diet. I changed everything actually. But what I learned the most through that little part of my journey was that the most powerful gift God gives us is our mind. What you think, what you say, totally 100% will create your reality in your life. I do know that. I am sitting here as total proof of that. I have a testimony of that. So that's where my journey began with the natural products. I joined a lot of different companies, shared the products because I believed in them. They were keeping me healthy. They were keeping me going strong. I couldn't work the business. I don't know why. I just had this mental block about working the business. And I mean, honestly, I've learned I can sell glasses to an Eskimo if I believe in the product. But there was something about the business that just didn't work for me. And I never knew why. And every company would approach me, you need to come there. I'd be like, I can't work the business. I can share your product, but can't work the business. Just can't do it. So I'm not going to say I had a negative attitude about them, but it was always, I'm learning now, is it was about health stuff. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have been in companies like this and learn, unless you've had a challenge, people aren't really into the health until it affects them, which is sad, but true. Well, on a Monday morning in 2001, I was well on my way to being done. In fact, it was over in 2 years. I was cured in 2 years. But the doctors wouldn't say that. But I was sitting at my desk on a Monday morning in my house, and I got this really inspirational, cool email from somebody. I don't know who. All I remember, it was an early Monday morning. And I forwarded, but it came up the little box, you don't have a subject. And I remember leaning back in my chair and going, God, I don't have a subject. There isn't one. And I don't know if you guys remember Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, but that's what he sounded like. He went, good Monday morning. I was like, that's cool. So I type in good Monday morning, off the email goes. Well, the next thing that happened about 3 or 4 minutes later, it was like he tapped me on the shoulder and said, by the way, you're going to do one of these every Monday morning. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't know how to do that. He goes, oh yeah, we're going to do them every Monday morning. So I learned you do not argue with God, you just do it. So every Monday morning until 2017 at 7 o'clock in the morning, I sent out an inspirational email. It was either something with my story. I don't know, God wrote it, not me. Or he would say, go get this inspirational book and open it. And that was your good Monday morning. So years passed. In those years, I did several inspirational talks to clubs, women's groups, churches, different things. And it was about my journey and how I overcame the cancer and chose natural and all that good stuff. Well, in 2010, God spoke to me again, and he said, I think you need to write a book. And I started laughing. I'm like, I can't write a book. He said, yeah, you can. So anyway, I took from my book, Hope Talks, which he showed me it was crazy. I'm driving home one day in 2001. The sky was the most royal blue you can imagine, with these huge shaving cream, solid white clouds. And I'm driving frustrated because all my agents are like, you need to write a book. You need to do this. I'm like, I just want to get well. That's my journey right now. Just get my health back. Well, I look up and I say, God, if you know that thing, don't ask unless you want something. So you got to be careful what you ask for. But I said, God, just give me any kind of sign that I'm supposed to do something with all of this and share my story, because to me, I just want to get well. I don't feel like I have a story to share. I just want this journey to go and get me well. And I looked up, and out of that solid white cloud was dissipated huge letters, H period, O period, P period, E period. Well, immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to pull the car. It was before I had a camera and a phone. So I pull my car over and I'm looking, going, okay, I'm not hallucinating. I'm not on any drugs. So what is this? And so I get home, and as I put my purse down on I kept saying, why does it have periods? I see hope, but why does it got periods? When I get home and I put my purse down or whatever I put it on, when I walk through the back door, God said, health, optimism, passion, enthusiasm. It's like, what? Okay. And then he said, that's your story. That's your book. Go do it. Now that was 2010. 2013, he lost patience with me, I guess, and really came at me strong. And short of the story is, I wrote a book called Hope Talks. And it's basically a grouping of my good Monday mornings that share my story and so forth. Well, all that was going good. And I did Good Monday Morning until 2017. In 2016, my son passed away, my youngest son, which was the biggest hurdle, needless to say, that one can do. Brooks had played basketball. He was a natural athlete. He had played basketball in high school, had a 100% scholarship to Oklahoma State to play basketball. And then in 1994 was drafted in the NBA and played 4.5 years with the Orlando Magic and several other teams. He ended up with the New York Knicks. And then he coached for 17 years. Well, when he passed away in June of 2016, we had a memorial in San Antonio, where at that time we all lived, and then one in Dallas, so that all the Oklahoma and NBA people and all that could come. Between his two memorial services, there were over 1,000 people there. And what was so interesting is I learned more about my son that I had no idea, stories I heard, and his athletes talking about him, and the life lessons is all that he just gave us. Life lessons. And I'm like, he had more of me in him than because he used to say, Mom, you're so woo woo. And then he'd turn around and be doing the same thing. So that was, I felt that that was pretty cool. But anyway, he did just leave a gigantic legacy. And so I ended up a year later, before Christmas, putting together a book of interviewing people and pictures through the years to give to his children, which ended up all of our family got one. But I just wanted his legacy to live on. Well, about a year after he passed, when I'm kind of through some of the shock of it, God spoke to me again and said, I think Brooks and I want you to go. Sorry, I get a little emotional, and speak to student athletes. And I'm like, what? I can't talk to kids. I can talk to adults, but kids, especially boys. But I did. I ended up speaking to 3 or 4 different, 2 college, and no, I'm sorry, 1 high school and 3 college. And that was awesome. But I just all of a sudden just stopped. And so really I didn't do anything for a while. And I was in San Antonio. I moved back to the Dallas area to McKinney. And that's the day my true life began. I hate when I do this, sorry. I met the love of my life. I've kissed a lot of frogs, too many. But God gifted me, and I know Brooks gifted me with this amazing man named Clyde Walters. And we now have moved. I'm sorry, this is so stupid. I hate when I do this, but anyway, we moved to Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, bought a beautiful home, living our dreams. We both had a pretty rough few years, a lot of years actually. But God and Brooks connected us, and he's lost his son, Chris. So we know that the 3 of them have literally put our lives on the right path. So we're retired. So we're really not doing anything except playing golf and traveling and having fun, meeting lots of new friends. Well, the night, I think this had just started actually, just a few days ago, a week ago, my best friend Stacy Kinder in Colorado calls me. So I've got this thing you've got to look at. What is it, Stacy? And she tells me, and my first instinct was no way, no way. And then all of a sudden my little gut goes, you better listen to her because this could be something good. And Clyde loves to travel. I never wanted to travel because I didn't want to travel by myself because I was single for 20 years. I was busy working and whatever. Anyway, it just felt right. And then after talking to Eric and after meeting Jen, I'm like, I know we're on the right path. This is going to be the most amazing thing. And we are both so excited to explore the possibilities, go on new ventures, travel, meet new friends. We already have met some people and it's just wonderful. And so here's what I'm going to end with. No matter how many hurdles life throws at you, whether you choose to jump them, ignore them, go around them. I always chose to jump them. I figured then I was just done with them. But those are always your choices. But no matter how many life throws at you, you know, you've always said, throw lemons, make lemonade. No, mine is keep your faith, celebrate your life, and believe in miracles. And that's all I have to say. The end.
Wow, Sue, that is amazing. Guys, please give Sue some love in the chat. Sue, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you for being so vulnerable and for sharing. That is such an incredible story. At the beginning, I was like, oh, it's like, how can one woman like go through so much, like just one thing after another, and your strength and your resilience and tenacity is just so inspiring. And I love that I wrote that down. No matter
Thank
how many hurdles life throws at you, keep your faith, celebrate your life, and believe in miracles. That
That's
is,
what I said.
and I think listening to your story, uh, it's so much easier to believe in miracles. And I actually really needed to hear that. I knew I would, but I actually really needed to hear that today. And I think seeing how much you've gone through, and how you managed to turn that into just so much goodness, like, and to give so much, to inspire so many lives. And God bless your son in the way that he gave so much to people. But the fact that you're now here and you're about to embark on one of the biggest adventures with
Yeah.
the love of your life,
Yeah.
I think that just gives so much hope to anyone that's ever gone
Well,
through.
and I think, I think what a lot of times when we go through some bad situations, which everyone does, that's life, we give up.
Yeah.
And you can't give up. You have to turn that, whatever that negative is, you have to turn it around and find the positive, and it's never too late because I'm old now. When I found the love of my life, I was old. And so you just can't ever give up, because life is meant to be fun and celebrate. My deal always, and when I told my agents and everything, when I did a lot of trainings, it was like, if you're not having fun and you don't have a passion for what you do when you wake up every morning, quit, go do something else.
Right.
Because life isn't about struggling and being miserable. Life is about celebrating and enjoying
Yeah.
and just, I don't know.
Love that so much. So ladies, however much life may have broken your heart,
Yeah.
never give up. There's always
Never
a chance
give
to
up.
start afresh.
Never, ever, ever give up. That's right. Well,
Wow.
thank you. I'm honored to be on here. Thank you so
I'm
much.
so honored to have you. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you.
You're
Bless you. Bless you. Okay, ladies, don't we have just the most amazing people? Wasn't that great? So the next wonderful woman I'd like to bring on is another powerhouse. We've got Sharon. Is it Cousins or Cousins? How do you pronounce your name, Sharon?
Cousins, as in aunts, uncles, and cousins.
Cousins. I love it. Amazing. So Sharon, I haven't had a chance to really speak to you much, but Eric was just like, you have to get this woman. She's like phenomenal. And also I know that, you've owned a travel company, am I right, in the past? And you're like, Sharon's like a pro in this industry. Like when it comes to travelpreneurship, she's like the queen. So she's owned a travel company and then went to being basically a professional traveler, getting paid to travel. So she really understands leadership. She understands success. She understands entrepreneurship on another level. So we just got her here to really share her incredible story with us and to give us some amazing tips and just share some habits of highly successful women and what really she credits to her success, especially in this industry. So it's such an honor to have you, Sharon. Do you want to tell the girls a bit about you?
Thanks, Jennifer. And it's absolutely awesome to be here today. I can't thank you enough for inviting me to the call. It's an absolute privilege. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sharon Cousins. I am born and bred in South Africa. I have lived out my entire life, but I've been very fortunate to travel. I've done well over 300 international flights, and that's really a blessing to me to be able to travel. I'm a single parent. I have two beautiful children, a little girl and a little boy who's now not so little. They're 22 and 23, but they'll always be my little ones. And my background is tourism. Like Jennifer mentioned, I used to own my own travel company. In actual fact, I had major offices and ran it for 24 years. With that came overheads, staff, headaches. It was honestly like running an adult daycare center. But I loved what I did, except I was this side of the desk, sending everybody else on holiday. I was the one who wanted to travel more and experience the world. And about 15 years ago, I went into advertising. I needed to add to income for the simple reason the airlines took our commissions away. So I was looking at doing something else from home because, you know, I wanted to be around my children, around ballet, around rugby, and support them. So I started a magazine. I ran it successfully. I loved what I did because I was writing articles. I just was making connections all around. And unfortunately, my business partner did something very unethical, and I found myself losing that business. And it just had a snowball effect. What landed up happening is I landed up losing my travel company. I started, you know, falling behind on bonds and things like that. And I eventually lost our home. My kids and I, I'm getting emotional, but my children and I landed up living in my car. I had like a real mom's taxi, a Volkswagen Touareg in South Africa, and we landed up living in my car because it was really all about survival at that stage. And I kept on saying to everybody, but I'm still blessed. We've got wheels. I can get my children to school. Friends were borrowing me a hot shower now and then. We were going here and there for a meal. So it was really a tough time. And although it was an absolute mess, it certainly became my message. And I've turned that mess into my message nowadays. But there were struggles. I mean, every single person on this call has been through their struggles. But those are the sort of struggles I would never, ever want anybody to go through. It was really a difficult time in my life. And I was very afraid with network marketing. I was approached for a couple of programs. What I didn't want to do is get involved in a program where I had to buy physical product, keep stock, do deliveries, none of that, because A, I couldn't afford the stock, B, I couldn't afford to do the deliveries. So I was really looking for something that I could do in my circumstances. One thing led to another, it just got crazy bad, and the bank repossessed our car. So I was living on the street, and it was a really, really tough time. And I'll never forget, a friend that I'd met a couple of years back contacted me and said, we've got something, you can do it, it's going to be unbelievable. Sharon, you've got the personality, you're energized, you've got everything. But he didn't know my story. I had no energy. I was so depressed. I was suicidal. I had every horrible thought that you could think of. And he said, but it's only like 300 there. Back then it was 300 or 350 US dollars to get involved. And in South Africa, with the rate of exchange, it was like millions to me because of the place that I found myself in. And I just said, I can't afford it, so I can't do it. And he said, if you keep on saying that, you're always going to be in this situation. If you really want to make a difference in your life, you will borrow the money and join us, and I will assist you and help you and make it happen. And I really had to think about it. I prayed about it, and I eventually put my pride in my pocket, and I went to a friend's husband and I borrowed the money from him. And I started in the network marketing industry. The product back then was travel, so I could get absolutely passionate about it. And very fast, I moved up ranks. I became a six-figure income earner within a year. And I loved what I did. I really did. Changing lives, making a difference in other people's lives is really what I'm all about. So I was fortunate to be able to do that. For me, it's about the friendships that are made around the globe. It was about being able to hop on a plane at the drop of a hat and go visit somebody because they are ill or they needed to pick me up. And it just became an absolute blessing in my life. And I loved it, make no mistake, I loved it. But sadly, about 4 years ago, the company made some really, really bad decisions, which landed up creating, a whole lot of stresses for us. And they stopped paying us, lots of nonsense happened. And it's just because it was not the right guys behind the steering wheel at the time. But I found myself not earning an income. So I went from being a six-figure income to being a zero income earner overnight. And that also taught me quite a few lessons, because I was spending all my money traveling the world, going to New York for breakfast or Amsterdam for dinner. when I didn't really have to be doing that. But I was enjoying life. And I think that's so important because a lot of us forget to enjoy life. So I started looking around the last few years, especially the last, 3 years. I've really been looking for something. I had savings that I was living off. The savings eventually dwindled quite fast. And my son turned around to me and said, Mom, I want to go live in Asia. And I said, that's fine. Mommy will pay for your ticket. Like us parents always do. We always give to our children before we give to ourselves. And I was like, whatever you want, my boy. So I set him up in Asia, and he's been there now for just over 3 years. He absolutely loves it. But what I did with my last few pennies was go and visit him just before COVID for his 21st. I surprised him and arrived in the restaurant that he was celebrating with some friends with this big cake. And he got the shock of his life seeing his mother there. But he said, how long are you here for? And I said, just the weekend. And I ended up staying 3 months. So we had an absolute bonding like none other. And I came back to South Africa with very little money. COVID hit, and I haven't earned for the last 2 years. I haven't earned 1 cent in actual fact. And I've been looking, I have got involved in 1 or 2 things, but there was no passion there. If you're not passionate about jumping out of bed in the morning and actually putting your heart into what you're doing, I just kind of wonder if it's really going to work, because you need to be passionate about it. And I was missing that. I was really lacking that something that got me excited. In March this year, just to tell you a bit of my story, is I've traveled the world and made the best friends, absolute best friends ever. And I had met somebody on my journey in the last 10 years, and we traveled everywhere. I'm talking about Fiji, Hawaii, Las Vegas, Disney World, Cyprus. I could name them all. We've traveled. We had a thing every time we got on the aeroplane, we'd have a Bloody Mary together and celebrate. This is our 50th flight, our 100th flight together, etc. And in March this year, she phoned me up one evening and said, I can't do this anymore, and committed suicide.
Oh, Lord.
And she was really my bestie. And it took me into an absolute state of depression that I'd never experienced. I thought I was depressed 15 years ago. Let me tell you, this was a hard. It was so difficult for me to deal with. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't look after my daughter. Luckily, she's a grown-up, but I wasn't, being the mom that I should be. And I was really looking to find me again because I lost me. And when I got a phone call from Eric Allen to say, Sharon, we're doing this. Are you in? Bing! All the light bulbs came on. I mean, I have jumped out of bed. I've done my daily habits like I used to. I have found me. And that's what this company that hasn't even launched yet has actually given back to me. So I am so grateful for that. And I just know that we're in the right place at the right time, more than ever I've felt that before. And, my habits daily are habits that I used to do that got me success in my previous company. And that's just having a time to wake up, get up, dress up, and show up. Even if it's on screen, even if you look great over here and at the bottom you're in your pajama pants, it doesn't matter. But you're literally showing up. I mean, just to be able to get up on a daily schedule, to meditate, if that's what you do, to pray, if that's what you do, and then to exercise, eat healthily. All those things are about balance. That's what it's all about. It's all about having balance in your life. And once you start doing things every single day, like reading 10 pages of a book, Jennifer, you showed your book. I'm going to show everybody what I'm reading. And I've read this book over and over the past few years, The Power of I Am. I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am successful. And all that. I mean, affirmations is something that I do every single day. Even when I have no money, I stand in the shower every morning and I say, I'm absolutely grateful. Money flows to me. I don't know where it comes from, but I accept it gracefully. And you know what? Things are just falling into place. The other daily habits that I do on a regular basis, and especially with a business like this, is making those phone calls. And normally I'd say 10 calls a day, but because we're in the pre-launch, 20 calls a day consistently. I'll give you the analogy. If we all go to like the beach, put Santorini or Fiji on your list, and we arrive at the beach with our little sand bucket. If we put in, say it's a Monday, 1 grain of sand, and on Tuesday, maybe we put 2 grains of sand, Wednesday, 3 grains, Thursday, we're like, I don't know if I can do this. Friday, we're like, woo, it's Friday, it's weekend, I'm not putting any sand in the bucket. How much sand do we actually have in that bucket? Very, very little. But imagine if we took on the Monday a scoop with our little spade and we threw it in the bucket, we'd now have like a whole lot of sand. And you kept on throwing it in. Tuesday, 2 scoops, Wednesday, 3 scoops. You'd obviously eventually fill your bucket. And that's just what it's like with phone calls. You cannot do a phone call on a Monday to share this opportunity with somebody, 2 phone calls on a Tuesday, 3 on a Wednesday, reluctantly, and Thursday go, you know what, I can't do this. Everybody's saying no. And on Friday go, woohoo, it's weekend, so you don't do any more calls. At the end of the month, you've maybe done 20 phone calls. But if you consistently every single day are getting your 10 phone calls done by a certain time, I try to do it by 11 a.m. in the morning, then what happens, at the end of the week, you've got done 70 calls. At the end of the month, you've done a whole lot more calls. And imagine if you're sharing what you're doing with the folks that you're getting in. So you introduce somebody to the business. I introduce Jennifer. I say, Jennifer, every single morning, we're going to be consistent. We're going to do 10 phone calls a day. Share it. Then it's not just Sharon having 10 phone calls. It's Jenny's 10 phone calls. And now it's 20 phone calls within the team. And you need to be consistent with that. Consistency is absolutely key and a daily habit that every single person has to do. The other thing that I do is add 10 people daily onto social media, so new friends, not somebody who wants to chat for other reasons, somebody who, you found on Facebook, they've posted travel pics, so you befriend them and start a travel conversation with them. I find the best thing to do is compliment people, and I make sure I compliment 5 people every single day. Now, I'm stuck in my home because of COVID here in South Africa. There's like hardly any going out for me. But on Facebook, I see people and I go, oh my goodness, Jennifer, those shoes in that photograph, it looks like shoes that I saw in Italy on one of my trips. Did you perhaps buy them in Italy? And they'll probably go, no, I bought them from Walmart or the local store, but it's a conversation starter and you're complimenting them. So I do that every single day, is compliment people, smile at them, always be the first one to say hello. Make somebody's day every single day and have the energy and have the excitement. On the excitement scale, 1 to 5, you can't be a 1, you need to be a 5. You need to be excited. We have a sexy, fun product. Who doesn't want to go travel? It's an absolute yes every single time you ask somebody if they want to travel. And once you've shared the opportunity with them, because you've added them on social media or something, you need to do follow-up. Follow-up equals fortune. I've got a names book and I write my names in every single day. In actual fact, I add 60 names to my list every day. And then I write today, I sent them an invite to the Zoom. I sent them the web link as a follow-up. So every single day, I'm consistently speaking to the people. And if they're not interested, you know what, we're not in the begging game. If you don't want to come travel and have fun, that's okay. If you don't want to earn money, that's okay. Remember, not everything is for everyone. Now, to all of us, we think, oh my goodness, it's travel. Everybody's going to join. But let me tell you now, you're going to have lots of no's. But after every no, you might get another no. But guess what happens after that? You eventually get a yes. And those are the yeses we want. And even when you have registered somebody and when we're on the system next week and we've gone live, somebody might actually quit. You might pick up that sand bucket on the beach and it's got a hole in the side. What happens? Half of it pulls out. And that's what's going to happen in this industry that we have, the tourism industry, just like any other industry. People are going to quit. They don't believe in themselves. So they will quit. Like I said, we're not in the begging game. They really need to go do what they want to do. We want nice people on this bus. We want to travel with fun people. But honestly, what you do behind the scenes is everything that you should be doing in front of the scenes. For example, in front of your teams, if you say, I'm doing 10 phone calls a day, you need to be doing 10 phone calls a day. You know, on all of our club trips that we're going to be going on, and I'm going to meet folks that are on this call that, you know, I've never ever met before, we need to be the brand of this company. We need to, you know, be well behaved. We don't need to be drunk and acting, you know, like idiots at the swimming pool, because what our team sees us do, they can also duplicate. So we need to be the leader. We need to be absolutely confident in everything we do, confident in the product. Don't lie. Don't guess. If you don't know the answer, say, I don't know. Please give me 48 hours and I'll get back to you. Yeah, I don't say give me a couple of hours because maybe Scotty's sleeping, Eric's sleeping. I can't get answers right now because of the time zone. So I say, you know, I'll get back to you in 48 hours. You know, if you find that once we launch and there's an error on the system, it's going to happen. Does it matter? No. Maybe our price is R2 or $2, should I say, more expensive than somebody else's. Does it matter? No. You know, if you have something that you want to complain about, speak to the leaders. Don't speak to your team, because your team then goes and duplicates what you do. So you really need to lead by example, show somebody what to do, help them understand the system. Doesn't mean you need to now learn this very complicated compensation plan. I looked at it and thought, oh my goodness, I'm never, ever, ever going to understand it. But just take one day at a time. Everybody helps everybody else. One, you know, we're like a dream team. Teamwork makes the dream work. And, you know, you need to believe in yourself, first of all. You need to believe that you can do this. You need to hang around the fire. You need to be on these women empowerment Zoom calls. You need to be on the Zoom calls when, say, Scotty's presenting or maybe Bill's presenting in Australia. You know, and be part of the fire, be part of the community, have absolute faith and trust in our industry. We are $8.1 billion industry. I mean, who doesn't want a finger in that pie? And the pie is Las Vegas, New York, London, Australia, Great Wall of China. I can mention so many places. That is our product, and that's what's so exciting about it. And trust the leadership. Yeah, I have known John McKillop for more than 10 years. When I heard that John was our CEO, I was one of them that said, I'm all in, because I know John. I know how he works. I've sat on boards with him, and I know that some of you probably don't know him. Trust me and have faith in the man. He is unbelievable. He's one of the most dynamic, ethical and honest folks I have ever met in my entire life. And I've worked with Eric Allen, I've worked with Ed Blunt and Ed Terranova. So, you know, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but these are folks that are behind the scenes, and we need to be able to put all our trust in them, know that our product is going to be absolutely amazing. There's transparency, there's the ethics, there's the honesty, you know, everything is there for us to see. And I just say, stay around the fire. I want to leave you with this, is just believe that everything will come together. Yes, we're going to have a couple of hiccups, but we're a brand new company. We're not even a company. We'll be a company like on Monday when John flicks that switch, which is so exciting. But really, you are all loved, you're seen, you're heard, you're treasured and important, and you obviously have so much to offer us, but we have so much to offer you because you have all got unlimited potential. So I'm just going to say, enjoy this crazy journey, because it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride.
Amazing. Wow. Wow. Sharon, thank you so much for sharing with us. Ladies, right. Happy Hank says it right. Sue and Sharon. Wow, wow, wow. That was incredible. Thank you so much. And you had me cry. You ladies just came here to make me cry today. I've been crying all the way through this call. Thank you so much for, again, being so vulnerable and sharing your story with us, and also just some of your tips. And how amazing is that, Sharon, that you became, you know, a six-figure earner within the year. And I've been finding a lot from people that once you've experienced that lifestyle of being paid to travel, it's really hard to go and do anything else and do another job, because it's like, why would I do this with my life when I can get paid to travel? So I'm so glad that you're here with us, and I can definitely echo what you said with regards to the guys behind the scenes and the corporate team. I mean, John McKillop, I think, has probably restored my faith in humanity and in business. Having been burnt in the past, just seeing so much integrity and ethics and just love for people. We really are blessed to have an amazing CEO and an amazing team. I don't think I've ever worked with just so many incredible people, and I think this is a people business. So yeah, we are really truly blessed. Thank you. So ladies, if you have time for just a little bit more gold, if you have time for just some more inspiration to squeeze into your Saturday, we have one more very special guest that I'd really love to introduce you to. Susanna, are you still there? Have you say we have Susanna all the way from Sweden?
Yes, I'm here.
Let me pin you. Okay, perfect. Guys, isn't it crazy that we've got like such an international community already? We've got London, America, we've got Australia, we've got Sweden, such an incredible international sisterhood we've got here. So Susanna, please tell us a bit about yourself, a little bit about your story, a bit about what's brought you here, what you're looking forward to in the club, and maybe just some tips for success of being just a woman in business and in this industry in general.
Absolutely, I'm honored to be here, but you have to be a little bit understanding in my English. Maybe I drop the words sometimes, but and I'm on my phone because I've been in the city in Stockholm tonight. So well, I don't have any computer. Well, I don't really. It get fast to get in here to. I get the question from you yesterday or from Eric, and I don't really know what to say. But I've been in the industry for a long time, and I can about myself. I'm from Sweden. Yeah, I'm from South Sweden. I'm grown up in a farm with separated parents, so I have always had two families. So I had my dad's side and my mom's side, and my dad lived in the city, and my mom in a farm. So I've been grown up in a farm, but as a black sheep of the family, because yeah, you know, things are when you're not from the regular family, you're not good enough. So even when I was a kid, I was really then as a 4 or 5 year old girl outside the box. So I always been outside the box and always thinking outside the box, always been manage everything by myself, and I'm really glad for that. Here in Sweden we have something that called jantelagen. I don't know what it calls in English, but you can't be good and you can't earn money and you can't have succeed, because that's ugly here. People put you down when you do something great. Yeah, horrible, but well, shit on them, I say. Well, I moved from this little town or village and moved to Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, for about 19 years ago. And then I met a guy for a couple of years ago in network marketing, not the same team at all, but we are partners in crime in business. And he's here also in the club. So, well, I've been struggling a lot with companies in network marketing that's, I don't have the heart. I'm a really yellow person, but I need to be both red and green and blue so I can be that yellow person. And now I feel that this industry and the timing that Ed speak to about yesterday, and or was it today? No, yesterday. And I think it's the timing. The company is from start. It's the first time for me to be around from the start. But you know, network marketing, a lot of people just, well, the scheme and everything like that. But when I was a kid, my mom always had, you know, Tupperware parties. I'm grown up with this. Then she started with Oriflame parties. And then when I was about 14, 15, she said, well, we're going to have some teenager makeup, and I'm not a teenager, so you have to do it. And I just, okay, I did it. But I didn't realize that was this industry. So, you know, I think we all grown up with the direct selling companies. And I really want to say a thing for, I think it's a lot of women or men that really struggles with, they don't feel like they're good enough because of their childhood or the past. And you know, you warm market and you say, oh, well, are you coming with something new again? Why didn't the other thing work? Well, show them that it works. Go to the cold market instead. Show them instead that it works. They are coming when you show them in the silent. Because I can't go to my warm market now. Because they are going to say, what the fuck, one more thing now? But well, yes, soon I can. And I've been in the industry for about 14 years, I think. I've been in a different companies, and I'm making myself ecosystem. You know, you can't have just one thing to offer, because if that one person don't want that thing, you need to have more things to offer. But a lot of people want to travel. A lot of people want to have fun. And also you need to think about, you know, the situation in the world. Not gonna imagine the name of it, but it's difficult to travel, but you have your home country you can travel in. And in Sweden is a long country and it's a cold country, but we have a lot of hotels, and we can travel here too. And I think I'm a little different nowadays. When in the network industry, before I wanted to go so fast, and I'm gonna launch, and we're gonna do that, and you have to have so many people in, boom, boom, boom. Why? All people speak about you have to go so fast, they have to go do that, and that stress people out, and that also stress people that don't are in that way as a personality. Everyone should do this. Everyone should do this. You should, in my way, you should think about, I need 3 partners in crimes that I want to work with, and duplicate that. I want the 3 people that I want to work. If you get more, okay, but I want 3 people that I want to work with. Then you duplicate that. Then you focus on the members. You help people get members. Out of the members, you say, well, was it that hotel? You was on that vacation? Was it fun? Was it nice? Well, I'm looking for 3 more. I have 3 places. I'm looking for 3 more that wants to work with us. I can't see.
This silly background. You actually put that picture up in the group today. I don't.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Pay it forward. It's not letting me show you. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll forward it to the women's group now because I loved that because you had your 3 and your 3 and your 3 and duplicating. But what I
Yeah.
really loved, ladies, if you look in the Telegram chat, is that it's hearts. And I think I really love that because we're getting away from the language of network marketing, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And so I actually like this because I saw it and I was like, that's like heart marketing. That's like connection marketing.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's like a really different game. I really love it. And it starts with you. But look at
Absolutely.
look at what you can multiply. Look at the connections that you can multiply and the difference you can make just by finding those 3 people that you want to work
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but also you have to think about, you know, if you have people that you want, you know, like Eric, he got over 100 papers now. Well, you have to please them too, but you also have to please them that don't want or can do that. Because when I was 2016, I got some wrong medication from the hospitality and got lame from my stomach and down. And then I realized, well, I'm lying here. I can't do any fucking thing, but I can do this. I can do network marketing. I can do it from my phone. I can do it everywhere I want, but I can't do that like he's doing or her doing because it's too much for me. But you should do what you can do, and you should not compare yourself with someone else. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. And one mission you can have, if you want to go, if you don't want to run like hell, if you want to take it easy, one new customer or partner or DM in your team every day. And if it's your own or you help someone else in the team, well, if you have one every day, it can be 3 in one day and 0 in one day, whatever. 7 a week. That's a good one.
Wow. Yeah, that's still a lot. You're going to grow massively even if you just take that approach. And I really love what you said, and I think that's important, especially for women. Just like, don't compare yourself. Like, you're so unique, you're so special. Like, whatever you have, do you and be you to the best that you can be. And I think that that's really special, especially in this industry. Is like you said, yeah, some people are going to have so many directs, but some people but you can be just as successful by just having those 3 and just helping people duplicate that. So whatever it is that feels good for you and that you can do, being you and being integral, do that. And I really love that. Thank you so much, Susanna. I know we've gone so over time, but I'm so honored to have you on the call. And again, we've just had 3 incredibly successful women all from around the world share their goals, and they're all different, right? All different advice, different things, because all of us are so different and unique. And I really love that. I really appreciate you for that. And I'm just gonna what else did you say? You said something that I really loved.
Can I just say one more thing that's gonna help everyone? Because a lot of people, I'm like that too. I can do it by myself.
Yeah.
But this is teamwork. Don't ever forget your sponsor, your upline, your team. Use each other as a tool, 3-way call or whatever. Even if you can't do everything by yourself, you have to show that you're not alone in this.
Yeah, and I think
that's a different one.
The journey with each other. I love the fact that we're here. This is traveling, and I always say travel isn't just about the destination; it's the journey. And you're not on this journey alone. And what I love about this whole group is that we're in this together. We'll be in different. You guys will be in different teams. You'll be but you're actually all in this together. You're a global sisterhood, and you're here to support each other. And that's the unity that I really want to make really important in the club for me, is that we're not diverse. We're doing our own things, but we're in it together, and we're in it to win it together. And you said something as well. You made reference to the fact that sometimes success can be ugly or unattractive. And I know in Australia, I've even seen before, Sharon, I've seen the tall poppy syndrome, where it's you can't shine too much, you can't do too much. So we're going to get rid of that as well, and just say everybody on this call, every single woman is just liberated to shine. This is a safe place for you to shine. shine, like go shine, go be to the best, be as successful as you want to be, as you can be. And we're going to cheer you on and we're going to support you, because I think it's beautiful when a woman just takes ownership of her power and just goes for it. So there was something that Sharon said as well, which is, I'd love to challenge us at the end of this call. Obviously we've got our book club, but you said, Sharon, to compliment 5 people a day. I think that's something that as women, just getting used to complimenting each other and supporting each other, I think we can really make something of that, like make somebody's day every day, even if it's just a compliment on social media, even if it's just a text message saying, thinking of you, I think you're like, just let's just bring out the best in each other. Let's compliment each other. Let's support each other. Let's make someone's day every day. And it can be in this community. It can be a woman in the club, or it can be a woman not in the club. I don't know. And hey, let's make guys' days too. We can compliment guys without it being weird, right? It's like even the leadership in the club, like there's so much work going on. Even just, you know, sending John a message, or Eric just being, or Scotty just being like, hey, just want to say thank you so much, like really loved your call, like whatever it is, whoever it is, it could be your family, it can be your friends, it can be a stranger on the street. Let's just be a real blessing to the world and start doing that. So let's start making people's day. It's the best way to network as well. It's just to actually be friendly. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to be having more of this. We're going to be having calls every Saturday. I'm so excited to connect with you every week. And one more thing that I'd love to leave you with is we're going to start talking about vision. So obviously we're drawing towards the end of the year. So I'd really love to start hearing your guys' visions. We're going to kind of be visioning 2022 together and what you guys want to achieve, what you want. Obviously, you're already starting next year off right, because you're already getting into the travel industry and the biggest rebound in the biggest industry in the world. So you're already off to a good start. But we just want to hear from you, and I want to find out about what it is that you guys want, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. And if any of you have a story to share and you'd love to be involved and to just chat with the girls, you know, message me, let me know, because I'm going to be getting around a lot of you. But thank you so much. Susanna, thank you so much. Sharon, thank you so much. Sue, thank you. You ladies are just amazing. You've blown my mind today. Yeah, Hank, I know, right? It's beautiful. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Have an amazing week. And I'll see you next week, same time. And can't wait for Monday as well, when we launch this thing to the world. All right, guys. Love you. God bless. Take care. Bye.
Bye.